Our cold emails had a 20.4% reply rate, of which 61.4% were positive, resulting in 97 qualified conversations from one campaign. In this video, I'll break down exactly how to write emails that convert to conversations. I'm Kevin Patrick, and me and my team help B2B companies turn cold outreach into their most reliable customer acquisition channel, booking calls with 85% of the Fortune 500 and generating over 8 figures in qualified pipeline. Did you know that the average reply rate of cold emails across B2B is sub 1%? And if you're getting reply rates less than 1%, which is the case for a lot of companies, you're losing serious time and money. The problem? Most companies treat cold email like a numbers game. They blast thousands of generic messages and hope something sticks. To write cold emails that actually get responded to, you need to do these 7 steps: preparation and research, subject line, opening hook, value proposition, call to action, signature and closing, and structure and style. To see this in practice, let's consider a made up life sciences software company. We'll call them Lab Flows with a Z, that provides research data management software for biotech companies running clinical trials. There are 2 types of campaigns that work in outbound. Number 1, you have trigger-based campaigns. These target prospects experiencing a specific event that creates urgency: funding rounds, pipeline advancement, new leadership, or lab expansion. These convert highest, but typically have smaller list sizes. Second is the Evergreen campaign. These target universal pain points that exist regardless of timing. They work for broader lists, but typically convert slightly lower. As we go through each step, I'll show you how to draft both types of emails for Lab Flows so you understand how to adapt your approach based on your list. Stick to the end, and I'll give you some tips that will dramatically increase your chances of a successful campaign. So step 1, preparation and research. Before writing a single word, you must clearly understand who you are emailing and why your message is relevant to them right now. Defining your ideal customer profile, ICP, requires clarity on industry, company size, role, seniority, and most importantly, recurring pain points. Strong ICPs are built using data from existing customers, competitor insights, reviews, and observable buying behavior. Every prospect should be researched individually to avoid generic outreach. Effective research could include reviewing recent news, LinkedIn activity, funding updates, job postings, and expansion plans. So industry-wise, we're going to be looking at biotech companies running, say, clinical trials. Let's say phase 2 and 3 to be more specific. Company size, 50 to 500 employees, and the roles we're going after, things like VP, Director of R&D, VP of Clinical Operations, Head of Data Science, Chief Scientific Officer, etc. And pain points: multi-site data coordination, protocol compliance, data integrity, cross-team collaboration. Now, taking all of that, let's develop our 2 campaign scenarios. So for the trigger-based campaign, each email should be anchored to a clear trigger event that explains why. Let's consider one of the trigger events: companies that recently closed a Series B or Series C funding round. And we can identify these through Crunchbase, press releases, or LinkedIn announcements. The strategic rationale behind this is that these companies just got capital to accelerate their pipeline. They're scaling research operations rapidly, often adding new trial sites, hiring research team, and moving compounds through clinical phases. This is when data infrastructure becomes critical and when they generally will have budget to fix it. So the target pain is going to be the VPs of clinical operations at these companies, because they're all of a sudden managing maybe 5 to 10 trials instead of their normal 2 to 3. Data is coming from multiple CROs, internal labs, and contract facilities. Version control becomes a nightmare. Protocol deviations slip through. Clean data takes weeks to compile sponsor reports. Timing's everything. If they've just got money, and part of it is specifically to move faster, but their current systems are slowing them down, they are more than likely to be looking for solutions. Now, on the other side of the coin, for the Evergreen campaign, for prospects without, say, a specific trigger, we can target universal pain points. So in this case, every biotech company running multi-site clinical trials struggles with data fragmentation. Research data lives in email threads, shared drives, different LIMS systems, and CRO portals. When it's time to compile endpoint data or prepare for an interim analysis, teams spend weeks manually reconciling everything. So the target pain in this instance is going to be clinical operations team, who waste 30 to 50% of their time on data reconciliation instead of actual science. Preparing for the data safety monitoring board meeting or interim analysis becomes literally a fire drill. Version control errors create compliance risks. And therefore, the reason why this works is that this pain exists whether they raised funding last month or 3 years ago. Every VP of clinical ops deals with this quarterly. It's the universal tax of running complex research operations. Now, this is the foundation. Without this research or strategic thinking, everything else falls apart. Step 2, the subject line. The subject line has one job: get the email open. That's it. Effective subject lines are short, typically 3 to 5 words. All lowercase works best, and most importantly, keep it relevant to the message. And here is the key: subject lines should sound like an internal note rather than a marketing promotion. Now, let's create subject lines for both campaigns. So the subject line for the trigger-based campaign, very simple: Series B. It's simple, it's personalized, it acknowledges a major milestone, sounds like a colleague or industry peer reaching out and not a vendor. Do you see how I didn't say congrats on the Series B, it just says Series B. And for the Evergreen subject line, I'm just going to say multi-site data. This works because every biotech running multi-site trials deals with data coordination challenges. It's specific enough to show expertise, but broad enough to apply universally. So notice how both avoid hype. They use industry terminology that signals, I understand your world. They create curiosity without clickbait. Comment a subject line that worked well for you or has worked well for you. I'm sure it'll help the community. Step 3, opening hook, the why them moment. Now, this is critical. The first sentence must be about the recipient, not the sender. Strong hooks reference something specific and recent about the prospect. The opening should immediately answer why the email is relevant to them. So now let's craft opening hooks for both campaigns. For the trigger-based, I'm going to say something like, Barry, saw you just closed your Series B. Congrats on the 45 million raise. Now, why does this work? It, for example, uses the first name only. I still see in 2026 people using full names and just crazy. You want to make it conversational, not formal. It references something specific, for example, the funding amount as well, which can identify we've actually done their research. And it's celebrating their win, which builds a bit of rapport. No mention of selling anything yet. On the Evergreen side, we'd say something like, Barry, most clinical ops teams I work with say data reconciliation eats 40% of their time during interim analysis prep. Now, why does this work? Because it leads with a pain point they will most likely recognize. It uses industry terminology, interim analysis prep. It shows that we know their world. Establishes credibility with teams I work with or teams we work with. And no specific event needed. In this case, Evergreen is always going to be true. So notice what we're not doing. We're not talking about ourselves, our company, our solution, our credibility. We're proving that we understand their world first. This is the why them, why now moment. Step 4, value proposition. The value proposition connects the prospect's problem to a tangible outcome. Strong value propositions include social proof and measurable results. Now, here's a structure that I recommend. Most persona struggle with problem when context. We helped similar company achieve specific outcome by and a brief how and potentially a time. This keeps the message clear and credible. Now let's build value propositions for both campaigns. So for trigger-based value propositions, you could say something along the lines of, assuming now that you're scaling trial operations, multi-site data coordination typically becomes the bottleneck. We built a platform that keeps protocol data synchronized across sites in real time. One of our clients went from 3 weeks to 4 days for interim analysis prep. Same data quality, fraction of the manual work. Now, why does this work? Because it acknowledges their new context. That is scaling with fresh capital. It names the specific problem, which in this case is multi-site coordination, and it shows concrete outcome from 3 weeks to 4 days, and addresses the quality concern, which is the same data quality. And it focuses on their pain point, reducing manual work during growth. Notice we don't say cloud-based or AI-powered. We describe outcome, not the technology. Now, for the Evergreen value proposition, we're going to say something like, most clinical ops teams waste weeks reconciling data from different sites and CROs before every interim analysis. We built a platform that maintains a single source of truth across all your trial sites and vendors. One biotech cut their DSMB prep time from 18 days to 5 days. Same audit trail, way less firefighting. And why this works is that it's the universal pain point, which is multi-site data reconciliation. Specific, believable metric from 18 days to 5 days. It addresses the compliance concern and it shows the outcome, not features. It also uses industry terminology like DSMB, audit trail. So the key difference here is that the trigger-based version emphasizes growth and scaling because we have that insight. And the Evergreen version emphasizes efficiency and reducing the chronic pain. It's the same product, but it's a different framing based on the prospects and accounts context. Now, step 5, the call to action. The CTA should feel optional, easy, and respectful. Here is the biggest mistake I see. Asking for a 30-minute demo or trying to schedule a meeting in the first email, that's too much friction. You haven't earned that yet. The goal is to invite interest, not force commitment. Let's craft CTAs for both campaigns. For the trigger-based campaign, something like worth a quick conversation about how this might fit into your scaling plans. Now, let's see why this may work. It ties back to their context, which is scaling new funding. Is tentative, not presumptuous. Quick conversation feels manageable. Question format invites response. It's just human nature. Now, with the Evergreen CTA, it'd probably be something like, would a brief call make sense to see if this could help your team? Now, why does this work? Brief call is low commitment versus, say, the 30-minute. Makes sense as consultative. It's not pushy. Could help, again, is tentative. And your team shows we're thinking about the whole organization. Notice the language in both. Worth, might, make sense. These are soft, low-pressure conversational asks. You're offering value, not demanding time. The trigger-based version connects to their growth momentum. The Evergreen version focuses on solving a persistent problem. If you're finding this valuable, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to improve your outbound growth every single week. Step 6, signature and closing. Closing should feel polite, calm, and pressure-free. We talked about this in the CTA. The conversational sign-offs reduce friction and, again, sound natural. So the signature should be minimal and professional. For example, from lab flows, something like best or thanks or regards. And then clean signature would just be first name, last name, the title, co-founder, and beneath that, lab flows or co-founder at lab flows. That's it. No phone number, no company address, no marketing tagline, no book or demo link, no photo, no LinkedIn URL, nothing. In general, credibility matters, but specifically in life sciences, healthcare, credibility matters. You want to appear professional and knowledgeable, not salesy. The signature backs up expertise, in this case around co-founder. We generally say more senior the better. And it doesn't overwhelm with big logos and things, and ultimately means it's going to land in the primary inbox. Very, very important. Now, step 7, structure and style. Cold email should be kept between 80 to 120 words to respect attention span. Short paragraphs improve readability, especially on mobile. And remember that most people read emails on their phone. The email should be easy to scan without feeling dense. And here is a non-negotiable rule. Avoid links, attachments, and images, especially in the first email, but I would say generally. They do hurt deliverability and will trigger spam filters. The tone should feel like a peer reaching out, not a salesperson pitching. So here is the ideal structure. First line, you've got your personalized hook. Lines 2 to 3, the value proposition with proof, which should generally link back to line 1. And then the fourth line is going to be the soft CTA. Now let's assemble both complete emails. The trigger-based email subject line of Series B, Barry, so you just closed your Series B, congrats on the $45 million raise. Assume you're now going to be scaling trial operations, and therefore multi-site data coordination typically becomes a bottleneck. We built a platform that keeps protocol data synchronized across sites in real time. One of our clients went from 3 weeks to 4 days for interim analysis prep. Same data quality, fraction of the manual work. Worth a quick conversation about how this might fit into your scaling plans. Best, Sarah. Now on the Evergreen side, subject line, multi-site data. Barry. Most clinical ops teams I work with say data reconciliation eats 40% of their time during interim analysis prep. We build a platform that maintains a single source of truth across all your trial-cited vendors. One biotech cut their DSMB prep time from 18 days to 5 days, same audit trail, way less firefighting. Would a brief call make sense to see if this could help your team? Best, Sarah. Notice what both emails have in common. Ultra short paragraphs, 1 to 2 sentences, no jargon or buzzwords. We use industry terms, not marketing speak. Concrete, believable metrics, conversational tone, zero fluff. The difference? The trigger email references their specific milestone and connects to growth context, while the Evergreen campaign leads with a universal pain point that applies to any clinical ops team. Here are some advanced tips that will dramatically improve your results. Number 1, timing matters. Emails tend to perform best when sent Tuesday through Thursday. The ideal sending window is between 7 and 11 a.m. in the recipient's local time. Not saying don't do Monday and Friday, but this is just from our own data. Technical infrastructure is critical. Your domain should be properly warmed up before scaling outreach. In 2026, deliverability is everything. If you're not landing in the inbox, nothing else matters. Track the right metrics. Reply rate is a much more reliable success metric than open rate. A healthy reply rate for effective cold reach is typically regions of 5%. But if you're not hitting even 1%, something in your process is good. Test relentlessly. A/B test subject line, hook, CTAs. What works for one ICP might not work for another. Follow-ups are important, but not too much. A lot of replies will come from follow-up emails. A strong follow-up sequence includes 1 or 2 emails spaced 2 to 5 days after the initial one. Please don't do 5, 7, 8, 12 emails in a campaign. They just don't work. Coming back to writing cold emails, both approaches work. The key is matching your campaign type to your list. If you can identify 200 biotech companies that just raised Series B funding, use the trigger approach. If you're targeting 1,000 VPs of clinical ops at biotech companies running phase 2-3 trials, use the Evergreen approach. A mix of both works the best. Simple, but strategic. And this is how we generate 20% plus reply rates consistently. If you want to know more about how we generate results for our clients, head to our website, astraspartners.com. Or you could watch this video where I reveal the exact system we implemented to get 7 new clients and $150,000 in annual recurring revenue for a client of ours in just 60 days. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.